Honestly, this was a video that I really wasn't sure if I still wanted to make. So, a while back, I really hated Rek'Sai, and I still kind of do. But okay, way back, I really loved Rek'Sai. Was a main. I played her all the time. I loved playing her. But this was back when she was tanky. When there was mastery, not rune, that made her even tankier because she'd kill things and it give her health, and her base stats were better. Then they nerfed her 3 times. First nerf, they got rid of that mastery and they replaced it with grasp of the Undying. Okay, fine, all dandy, no big deal. Then they nerfed her base stats and they lowered her armor and magic resist over time. Great, just wonderful. Made her a little bit worse, but still playable. Then they really fucked it all up, and then they changed it so that her ult then had a longer cooldown. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why is this necessary? And then they really did it. And they changed her entire kit. Now, she went back and forth between being a bruiser overpowered and an assassin overpowered or really weak. And, like, she was really only played by champion, master, tier players. Like, I just could not play her anymore. I could not. I did not have the team cooperation or, honestly, myself, just the skill. Because, like, I was better when she was a tank and I could just face plant into the enemy team. And, like, yeah, I would die, but I damaged them all and I would distract them long enough to where my team could win. Okay? But now I can't do that. And now she plays more like an assassin than anything else. And she's been like that for a while. And I hate it. Because all of her abilities scream assassin at this point. And you're probably thinking, but it's the same abilities. And that's because they really never screamed bruiser. They always screamed more of like a slightly more damage-focused tank with the good mobility. But then, they were like, well, I want her to be a bruiser. And, her abilities, as I said, there are bruiser-esque abilities, but they're a bit more tanky. But now, they just went full tank, or full assassin. Because her passive is useless. Besides Kog'Maw, I would say it's the most useless passive in the entire game. The healing off of it is okay, but really not that great. And the only time it's really useful is when she's farming. That's it. It never has any purpose in a fight whatsoever. I would say, yeah, it's a little good because after you knock up someone at least one time and get your combo off, and then you re-burrow, you heal a little bit. But it's really not that great unless you build like a Spirit Vestige or you have a shit ton of HP, when you build tank. Otherwise, if you're an assassin or a bruiser, it really doesn't heal all that much. But if you build straight tank, it heals a good amount. But then, as I said, but not only that, but her items, as you can see with this footage, are recommended to build assassin items. And I get creamed. I get smashed. I get destroyed. I don't do nearly as much damage as actual assassins, and I can't tank even close to as much damage than a bruiser. Like, if you notice a lot of other bruisers, they have high mobility. Reksai has 2 movement abilities, and one of them is her ult, so yeah, and with a reasonable cooldown, but yet again, it's to go in. It's not to escape or anything, and her E has a gigantic fucking cooldown. Like, huge. And yet again, I guess you could get in the same tunnel that you made in the first place, but in most cases, you're not going to be able to get to that same tunnel. So, that's problematic in itself, but, you just don't do enough damage. And I really think that they need to change Reksai in some way, shape, or form. Because it's like, okay, the Q is cool. I would say it really only helps you farm a little bit. And it kind of helps you get your ult off. Sort of. I would say for the most part, it's really just something to poke with. Or to send out there if you see your passive. Well, your W passive proccing and you can see the enemy movement. Okay, cool. But yet again, the movement speed from your W really is not that great. The sound effect from your W is kind of okay, but you can't see shit, so it's kind of a little annoying. And the only thing that's good about it is the knock-up. And you can only knock up one enemy. A singular enemy. Before, you could knock up an entire group of enemies. And, like, it's a pretty reasonable cooldown. You're only really gonna knock like 2 people up in a fight unless you're spamming your W, which then you're just gonna die unless you're full tank, and even then, uh, you still can probably die. But yet again, they want you to build assassin. So you meaning you're gonna die after you knock up one target. Maybe you'll trade a single enemy if you get your ult off, but you're way too squishy, so you're probably not gonna do that. Or like you have to get super ahead really early and gank like there's no tomorrow. But then there's like 5 other champions that can gank twice as good as you. Like Kayn, Lee Sin, even Rammus and like a Mumu can, like, at least they're tanky, so they'll absorb the damage and just smack the enemy. You'll just jump in there, do a lot of damage, and then they'll flash away, and you're like, well, cool. Honestly, I find it much more enjoyable to build a full tank Rek'Sai right now, but yet again, the tank items are broken. So as soon as they nerf them, which they should nerf them, if they don't, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. As soon as they nerf them, it's not going to really be as viable anymore, and I'm going to have a bad time again. But yeah, like, I just don't understand what their thought process for Rek'Sai is right now. Like, if you're going to go assassin, okay, but then her abilities need to do more damage. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, maybe give her movement speed from hitting an enemy with her Q, like, towards them. I think I've already described this in the past, but, like, still. Make the attack speed from her pass or her Q even better. Make it so that her attack damage increases with her passive. That way it's not just a heal. Like, every other Fury is 10 times better. Renekton, he heals more and does a shit ton more damage. Tryndamere, he crits more, and he can heal more with his Q. Like, what the feck? Tryndamere is literally just a better Rek'Sai in every way, shape, and form. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of drawing a blank on other Fury champions. Aatrox. I don't really, I don't know. But still, where it's just like all it does is heal. How about give it something more? Gives it a little bit more than just a heal when you're burrowed that you have to auto attack when you're unburrowed. Make it so that your attack damage increases. I guess, yeah, it gives a little bit of true damage on your E, but it's really nothing that spectacular. It used to be really strong enough to where you'd max your E first because you just want that true damage and it would hurt really bad, but it doesn't do that anymore. Overall, I just think that they need to make her more tanky. That they shouldn't. But, like, her ult's okay, but I really think the old ult was better. Like, without a doubt. That maybe adds some more movement speed with her W and, like, enemies that she hits with her Q, or, like, that she marks, because whenever she auto attacks or just damages an enemy, she marks them. Maybe increase the movement speed to them. I would definitely increase the passive, like, as I said, make you do more damage when the Fury bar is full. And just in general, just, like, increase your AD as the Fury bar gets bigger. Then, like, I would increase that heal, kind of depending. I don't know, maybe make the heal scale off of your attack damage if you're gonna go assassin. This is like if you're actually gonna go assassin form, I would say, then, like, this is what you'd have to do. But then, if you're gonna go bring Reksai to where I would prefer her to be in more of a tanky form, then, yet again, honestly, I think that she's okay as she is now. I would just change her ult back, and I'd increase her tank stats again. Like, I really don't think her abilities need changed at all in that essence. I think that maybe her passive then could heal a little bit more, but honestly, as I said, like, it heals fine if you build tank, so it's pretty okay. And then there's the whole fact that, what's it called, with her ult. Besides that, her Q through E could basically stay the exact same. Maybe I'd increase the, I mean, I don't know, I would increase her just base tank stats to actually make her a tank again, instead of, like, having to build just so many tank items to actually be equally as tanky as other champions when there's plenty of better tanks. It's like, see, that's my biggest problem right now is Rek'Sai is, like, you could pick so many other things, and it would be just as good, if not better. If you're going tank, pick Kane, or not tank. If you're going assassin, pick Kane, pick Lee Sin, pick Rengar, pick any of these people, much better assassin. Going tank, pick Amumu, pick Volibear, much better tank. I just wish Reksai existed in one world, because, you know, like, if you're going to make her a damage bruiser, but like what she kind of seems, and you kind of have to, you know, increase her damage or make her better, kind of like an Aurelia or a Camille or a I keep mentioning them over and over again, but I can't think of them now. But just like, yeah, actually make him better in damage. If you're gonna make her more tanky, then you gotta increase the tank stats and give her back her old ult, because her new ult really has nothing to do with tanks. But yeah, so that, in my opinion, is why Reksai sucks. I didn't know if I really wanted to make this video, but I did, so here you are, and yeah, let's see if I post it. I probably will, so yeah, leave a like, subscribe. If you agree or disagree, leave it down below. Thank you very much, goodbye.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.